picture this. Last year, one small business owner made over $300,000 in online sales.
Okay.
And they did this while posting on social media for like less than 30 minutes a week. 30 minutes.
Wow. That is the dream, right?
Right. But then on the other side of town, you have another business owner, and they spent 4 hours a day. I mean, every single day posting, stressing out, chasing the latest algorithmic trends, and they got absolutely zero traction.
Ouch. Yeah, that contrast it's agonizing, especially if you've ever been that second person, which, let's be honest, most of us have.
Same platforms, same economy, totally different results.
And the core difference between those two scenarios, it isn't luck.
Yeah.
It's not even about having a better product, really. The difference is automation.
Exactly.
What we're looking at today is how you can outsystem your competition without spending a dime.
Which is our highly specific mission for this deep dive. We want to welcome you, the listener, and shortcut your path to mastering zero-cost social media automation.
Yeah, we're pulling the core insights today from this really fascinating transcript we got our hands on from a business strategy show. It's called Prompt to Profit.
And the fundamental shift they present, it really changes how we need to approach visibility right now. Because the default assumption for most of us, especially, solopreneurs or small business owners, is that to get more traction, you simply have to work harder.
Oh, absolutely. People treat social media like it's a second full-time job.
Right. You do your actual job all day, and then at 9 p.m. you're exhausted, but you sit down and try to magically transform into this high-energy content creator.
And that is the exact recipe for massive burnout. The false assumption driving that burnout is that success requires posting more rather than posting smarter.
Yeah.
We fall for this illusion of, working harder. But if you look at the big entities out there, the major restaurant chains, real estate firms, massive marketing agencies, politicians, even they aren't sitting at their phones late at night trying to think of a clever caption.
Definitely not.
They automate their content.
Right. But historically, they automate it by throwing an absolute, just obscene amount of money at the problem.
Yes, that used to be the only way.
The Prompt to Profit transcript highlighted a case study about this very dynamic. There was this mid-sized e-commerce company, and they were paying a marketing agency over $15,000 a month.
15 grand.
A month. And what were they actually getting for that 15 grand? The agency was basically just writing basic captions, scheduling posts, and recycling old content.
It's a staggering expense when you realize what the deliverables actually are.
Okay, let's unpack this. Paying an agency $15,000 a month for basic social posts is it's like hiring a full 50-piece symphony orchestra to sit in your living room just to play your smartphone ringtone when you get a call.
That is a great way to put it. It's spectacular overkill.
It really is. But the pivot in that case study is what matters for you listening today.
Exactly, because that same company completely eliminated that massive ongoing expense by bringing in an AI workflow. They took one single podcast episode, fed it into the AI, and turned that one piece of audio into 30 entire days of content automatically.
30 days from one recording.
Yeah, we're talking Facebook posts, Instagram captions, X posts, LinkedIn articles, blog snippets, email ideas, all of it generated from one original source file.
Which begs the question, right? If a mid-sized company with a massive budget can pivot this easily to AI and drop the agency model entirely, why do one-person businesses still trap themselves into thinking they need to build a whole marketing team before they can scale?
Well, it's a legacy mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been conditioned for decades to believe that volume requires headcount.
Right. More output means more people.
Exactly. But solopreneurs rarely fail because they are bad at their actual business. They usually have fantastic products or services.
Yeah, they're experts at what they do.
Right. They fail simply because nobody knows they exist. The critical mindset shift you need to make today is moving from I need a team to I need a system.
I love that.
Big businesses historically used capital to solve the visibility problem. You can use systems.
So if a system is the answer to the $15,000 agency problem, the obvious next step is figuring out what actual free machinery you can use to build that system right now.
Which brings us to the core engine of this entire strategy, and it's ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
That is the free value bomb here. However, and this is a big however, most people use it completely incorrectly.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why they get so frustrated with the results.
I know exactly what you mean. The classic beginner mistake is logging in, staring at the blinking cursor, and just typing write some social media posts about my coffee shop.
Yes. the generic prompt.
And what it spits out is this robotic, overly enthusiastic text that sounds like a late-night infomercial from 1998.
Right. Attention coffee lovers.
Exactly. It is completely inauthentic.
And to understand why that happens, you have to understand how large language models actually work. ChatGPT is essentially a massive pattern recognition engine. If you give it a highly generic prompt, like write a post, it defaults to the most statistically common patterns of marketing text it absorbed from the internet.
And most marketing text on the internet is spammy, generic garbage.
Exactly. So it feeds that garbage right back to you. The secret to generating content that actually resonates is that you have to bypass those generic patterns. You have to feed the AI context.
So if the AI is just a pattern recognizer, it makes sense that giving it a blank slate yields a robotic voice. You have to feed it a linguistic pattern that is inherently you.
Bingo.
Like a raw transcript from a podcast interview you did, or maybe a massive, passionate email you wrote to a client explaining a complex problem.
Yes, or even a Facebook post you wrote a year ago that got a ton of organic engagement.
Right, something real.
That is the exact mechanism. You are providing the base code of your humanity. You feed that highly detailed human element into the machine first.
Okay, I'm with you.
Once you've provided that raw material, the next step is applying strict constraints.
Yeah.
You have to give the system boundaries so it knows exactly how to format your raw material.
And the transcript laid out a very specific set of instructions for this, the exact prompt to use. And for you listening, pay close attention to the specific guardrails built into this text.
Did I read it out?
Yeah, give us the verbatim prompt.
Okay, here is the exact prompt. Quote, act as a world-class social media strategist for small businesses. Based on the text below, create 5 Facebook posts, 5 Instagram captions, 5 X posts, 3 LinkedIn posts, 10 short-form video ideas, and 1 controversial opinion post designed to spark engagement. Keep the tone conversational, human, and non-salesy. Include strong hooks. End quote.
That prompt is so specific. It's the difference between amateur output and a professional strategy.
It really is.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Because the result of that one prompt is a full month's worth of content generated in like 20 minutes.
Which is incredible.
It is, but I have to push back a little on the sheer volume of that output.
Okay, lay it on me.
Generating that many assets from something as simple as one single customer email, doesn't that inevitably water down the message?
How do you mean?
It feels like trying to make 30 bowls of soup from like one single bouillon cube, you know? Doesn't the content eventually just lose its soul and become repetitive?
What's fascinating here is that the prompt itself is explicitly designed to prevent that watered-down soup scenario on a technical level.
Okay, how?
The magic isn't just in asking for the volume. It's in the constraints you place on the AI's processing. Notice the end of the prompt we just read.
Demanding a conversational tone, strong hooks, and specifically non-salesy language.
Right. By assigning those constraints, you are giving the large language model a mathematical weight to actively reject formal, repetitive, or promotional vocabulary.
Ah.
Those are your guardrails. That is what keeps the soul intact.
So the volume doesn't dilute the quality because the AI isn't just like repeating the same email 30 times with different synonyms.
No, not at all.
It's extracting the core philosophy or the underlying lesson of your source text and then totally recontextualizing it for different platforms.
Exactly. It scales the idea without diluting the voice.
Right, because different platforms need different things.
Right. A LinkedIn post demands a slightly more analytical, structural framing of your core idea. An X post needs to be punchy, brief, and provocative.
And an Instagram caption needs to be visually descriptive to support an image.
You've got it. The AI understands the structural requirements of these platforms.
Yeah.
You provided the authentic soul with your original text. The AI is just acting as the translator, formatting that soul to perfectly fit 30 different environments without losing the core message.
Okay, so let's say you've done this. You spent your 20 minutes. You have your 30 days of brilliant, highly tailored, authentic content sitting in a document on your computer.
Underfeeling.
It is. That is incredible. But if you still have to wake up every morning, log into Facebook, copy-paste, hit post, then open Instagram, copy-paste, hit post, then open LinkedIn, you haven't actually reclaimed your time.
No, you haven't.
You've solved the blank page problem, which is huge, but you are still trapped doing the manual labor of daily distribution.
Generating the text is only the engine. If you stop there, the system is incomplete. Now you need the distribution machinery to actually push that content out into the world.
Right.
And this is where we introduce the tools that eliminate the daily manual labor entirely.
And if you are listening to this and thinking, I'm not a tech person, I don't know how to code an API or connect different softwares together, the beauty here is that you don't have to.
No coding required.
The first tool we're looking at is entirely drag and drop, and it has a completely free tier. It's called Buffer.
Buffer fundamentally changes your workflow. It is a centralized scheduling tool.
So how does it work?
You connect all your social media accounts to it, your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever you use. Then you take all those AI-generated posts you just created, upload them into Buffer's dashboard, and attach them to specific days and times on a calendar.
Meaning you can sit down on a Sunday afternoon with a cup of coffee, load the entire system, and you are entirely done for the week. Or even the whole month.
Yep.
Done.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about logging into a single social media platform for 30 days. You've completely decoupled the act of creating content from the act of publishing it.
Which is incredibly freeing for your mental bandwidth. I mean, you aren't desperately context switching between business owner mode and social media manager mode 5 times a day.
Yeah, that context switching is brutal.
It is. With this, you are just the business owner again.
So Buffer solves the distribution of your text perfectly. But text is only half the modern visibility equation.
Oh, for sure. You have to talk about video.
The algorithms right now heavily prioritize short-form video, which traditionally requires hours of manual post-production.
It's just endless hours.
Sifting through footage, cutting out dead air, adding captions. This is where you have to introduce a different kind of tool to your system. The sources brought up a low-cost software, usually under $20 a month, called Opus Clip.
Opus Clip is where this automation strategy goes from highly efficient to almost unbelievable.
Yeah.
Video editing is notoriously the biggest bottleneck for solopreneurs. Finding the right clips, formatting horizontal video into vertical frames for phones, timing the text on screen, it takes hours.
It's exhausting.
Opus Clip automates that entire post-production process.
So how does it actually work in practice? Let's say you have a long video file. Maybe it's a recording of a podcast you guested on or a presentation you gave, or even just a recording of a really insightful Zoom call with a client where you explained a complex concept.
So you take that long video file and you simply drop it into Opus Clip. The software then automatically analyzes the entire video and cuts it into short, bite-sized clips perfectly formatted for TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook, and YouTube Shorts.
It's like having a tireless digital paperboy. But this paperboy doesn't just deliver the newspaper on time. He magically reformats the articles, trims the fat, and custom fits the stories perfectly into every individual neighbor's specific mailbox shape.
That's a great analogy.
It automatically detects the good parts, the hooks. It adds those dynamic, engaging captions we see everywhere. It reframes the video, and it even scores the clips based on how likely they are to go viral.
Right.
One 20-minute video literally turns into 20 distinct pieces of content.
And the virality scoring mechanism is particularly interesting. It's not magic, right? It's algorithmic retention analysis.
Okay, what does that mean?
The AI analyzes pacing, keyword density, and emotional peaks. It looks for moments where the speaker's cadence changes rapidly or where high information words are clustered.
Because that grabs attention.
Exactly. Historically, those are the structural patterns that hold a human viewer's attention and stop them from scrolling past.
But wait, let me challenge that for a second. If a machine is automatically detecting the good parts and scoring virality based on keyword density and pacing, are we removing the human intuition of knowing what will actually emotionally connect with an audience? Like, are we surrendering our empathy to an algorithm just for the sake of retention?
This raises an important question, and it's a very valid concern when we talk about AI. But we have to look closely at the sequence of events here. The AI isn't replacing human intuition. It is scaling the human's initial intuition.
Okay, so the machine isn't inventing the connection, it's just finding the moments where I was already connecting.
Exactly. The machine didn't generate the emotion. You provided the raw emotion, the expertise, and the passion in that 20-minute Zoom call or that original presentation.
Right. The raw material is still me.
The empathy, the connection, the deeply human elements are all there in the source material. What the machine is doing is recognizing the structural boundaries of that engagement. The human provides the art. The machine just provides the frame.
I love that. Think about it not as shattering your content into pieces, but rather like a prism. You shine one strong, coherent beam of white light, your core piece of content, that 20-minute video or that deeply thought-out email into the system. And the AI acts like a prism, refracting that single idea into dozens of perfectly colored platform-specific rays that hit exactly the right audience.
That's a beautiful way to visualize it. And this brings us to the ultimate secret that successful creators know. Create once. Repurpose everywhere.
Create once, repurpose everywhere.
That is the mantra of the automated business owner. You do not have the time nor the energy to create bespoke content from scratch for 5 different platforms every single day.
Jeez.
Right. You put your energy into creating one high-quality, authentic, cornerstone piece of content, and then you let the system refract it across the internet.
So what does this all mean? It means we need to stop trying to outwork everybody. We need to start out-systeming them.
Absolutely.
The days of the 4-hour-a-day social media grind that yields zero traction should be over for you.
It's entirely unnecessary given the drag-and-drop tools available to us right now.
So let's bring this all together into a concrete plan. Before you go to sleep tonight, you can actually put this entire machine into motion. The action steps are incredibly straightforward.
Let's hear them.
Step 1, open ChatGPT. It is completely free. Step 2, grab a piece of existing content. Like we said, it could be an email, an old post, a transcript, or honestly, even a passionate rant about your industry that you texted to a friend.
Yeah, a rant works perfectly. Step 3, paste that raw material into the chat box along with that exact verbatim prompt we discussed earlier. The one that asks for Facebook posts, LinkedIn articles, short-form video ideas, and that controversial opinion piece.
And don't forget the tone.
Right. Remember, demand that it be conversational and non-salesy. Establish your guardrails.
Step 4, hit generate and watch it create 30 days of tailored, platform-specific content in seconds. And finally, step 5, load all of that generated text into Buffer. Schedule it out across your calendar.
If you do that, by tomorrow morning, your entire month of social media is scheduled, running, and working for you in the background.
And you've accomplished all of it in less time than it takes to watch one episode of a Netflix show.
You have essentially hired a world-class social media manager for $0.
It is such a massive paradigm shift. It gives you your time back, it amplifies your reach, and most importantly, it stops you from burning out.
It really is a lifesaver.
But, as we wrap up this deep dive, looking at how incredibly efficient these systems have become, it does leave me with one lingering thought.
Oh, what's that?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it forces us to look ahead. We've just outlined a system that is incredibly accessible, incredibly powerful, and mostly free.
Right.
Which means inevitably, soon, every business will be doing this. Every business will be generating 30 days of perfectly formatted, highly conversational, AI-assisted content.
Yeah. The barrier to entry for producing good content is dropping to absolute zero.
It is. So in a very near future, where high-quality, perfectly scheduled, automated content is infinite, and everywhere what will become the new rare commodity.
That is a fascinating question.
What is going to make a business truly stand out to its customers when everyone has a flawless digital paperboy delivering their message?
That is the real challenge for the next era of the internet. Once the delivery mechanism is completely automated and democratized, you have to look deeply at what you are actually saying.
Exactly.
How will you differentiate your core message, your actual human perspective, when the system of sharing it is no longer a competitive advantage?
Think about that. Think about the business owner from the very beginning of our deep dive. The one making $300,000 on 30 minutes of work a week. Automation is what got their message in front of the right people, absolutely. But it was the profound human value of the message itself that actually closed the sale.
The system gets you heard. Your humanity gets you chosen.
Something to mull over as you build your automated system tonight. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.